Well, it's good to be back with you for the Sunday Masses, and I'm grateful to the auxiliary bishops who covered for me. I was told that the ratings really soared during the time that I was gone and they took over, so I feel a little threatened by that. But it is an opportunity for us as we come together to hear these readings at the end of the year to pay attention to them closely, because it is the end of the year, and many times when we come to the end of any event, we say those things that are important. And today Jesus takes up the very important topic of how authority is used in a community, how those in authority use their power. He says, first of all, that those who are in authority have to be careful about not bringing the best out of people, but rather putting heavy burdens on them. That is what authorities are supposed to do, to bring out the best. They are to, in many ways, as the word author is a part of the word authority, bring about something new and creative in each one of us. But there is also something else about a pitfall that authority can fall into, and that is by making demands on people or finding fault with them so very easily in order to cover up their own faults. As Jesus says, these people who are leaders of the people lay heavy burdens on them and do nothing to lift them, and in fact do not follow the law themselves. So authority always has to, in some way, keep that in mind. But we also know that we have a kind of authority of a group of people where they are maybe on a board or some sort of an organization that is a leadership position, and they can begin to take power to themselves and do the very same thing that individual abusers of authority can do. Some years ago, when I was first ordained, I was at a parish council meeting, and they were talking about disciplining a family for some infraction that had taken place in the parish or the school. And so they went around all ganging up on this family, wanting them to be expelled from the school. Finally, they got to the pastor, and they asked him, "What is your opinion, Father?" He looked up at them and says, "It's not the Sacred Heart. It's not the Sacred Heart. This is not the way that Jesus leads." And so what he did is he called them to a kind of leadership that allows those who, even when they make mistakes, have an opportunity to start again, to have a second chance. Sometimes groups and organizations, leadership groups in a community, can in fact be just as abusive of power as individuals. We see that sometimes with mob rules, with those who take advantage of others who are minorities, and racism, anti-Semitism, ways in which their power, because of their majority status, begins in some way to abuse the rights of others. We have to be very careful about in society, and especially in this moment in which there's a lot of conflict in the world, to make sure that the very, very difficult period of time with the Second World War of anti-Semitism, of what happened to the Jewish people, not once again be revisited in our society. We have to be able to stand up and tell those who abuse their position of minority or abuse their position of getting some sort of recognition to the disadvantage of others. So today is an opportunity for us to really think about what authority means, how we exercise it in our families, in our homes, and within the life of the church. And in that way, maybe look at the things that are very important in our life, that we do see that our lives together as Christians, we're all given moments in which we have authority in one place or another, that we not abuse it in a way that either hides our faults or makes burdens heavier for people, but that we really be true to what authority is about, calling the best out of others, making sure that they have the opportunity to flourish, and that way follow as that pastor once told his committee around him, make sure that you pay attention to the Sacred Heart.